Welcome back to BeerFormers. This is episode 66, and we're doing something a little different for this episode because I went to do something a little different than we normally do.
Sure did.
Yeah, so for the 60th episode, we're going to take a little break from the Dinobots. We did Grimlock and Swoop. We're going to go back to Dinobots after this episode.
Yeah, don't worry.
But at the time of this filming, the day prior, I went to a Transformers convention near Chicago, Illinois called Botcon. It's a very famous convention. It's been around since 1994 in one version or another. Different people have ran it over the years, et cetera, et cetera.
And I've gone with you before.
And Noel's gone with me a lot.
Break.
But this year I took my son Raph, and we drove up on Friday, and we spent the night in a hotel nearby, and then Saturday we went and did the whole convention. So we're going to show you some footage of the convention, talk a little about the convention, and then we'll kind of end the night by sipping on a beer. We didn't go to a microbrewery, but this is a beer from Chicago, which is where basically the convention was. Revolution Brewing, Hazy Hero. So we've done Revolution before. We still haven't been there, but we have done a Revolution beer for one of our episodes. So while we sip on this beer, we'll talk about some of the toys I bought at that convention.
I'll pour this for us
and we'll go from there. So just to get you set up here, Botcon, like I said, is a Transformers convention. It's held mostly every year. There's been a few gaps here and there, depending on circumstance, et cetera, et cetera. And it stands short for both Brobot Convention and Autobot Decepticon Botcon. Noel and I first went in 1999, the year after we got married.
And it was an experience.
And we've been to every convention we could go to that was within like an 8-9 hour drive for the most, but with one exception. One time we went to one in Florida.
Yeah.
Because it happened to be at Disney World, so we went to Disney World and went to Botcon.
Yeah, we double dipped that vacation.
But if you haven't been to any kind of convention like this before, I'll just give you a quick overview. It is basically there's lots of things going on. They'll bring in voice actors, they'll bring in artists. They'll bring in people who make TV shows to talk about. So a lot of panel discussions. You can find out what the latest is that's going on in different forms of media. But I think the number one draw, let's be real, is what they call the dealer room. And the dealer room is people set up tables. They pay usually a fee to do that, but they set up tables and they basically are there to sell you Transformers or other merchandise because it's not just Transformers they sell, but they tend to focus on that.
And some of the most fun times I've had is when you've given me an assignment and we split off. In days before we had cell phones.
Yeah. I'm looking for this. See if you can find it. Let me know.
And we try to find it and then try to get back in touch with each other. It was fun finding you stuff. In fact, you got Fortress Maximus at a Botcon.
I did.
Your original Fortress Maximus.
And my favorite Transformer of all time, which is Overlord. I got that at a Botcon.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that was one you were carrying up the elevator when the guy said, I'm Grimlock. I think that was that year. We talked about that.
And then sometimes they have booths from Japan. And there was that one dealer
from all the world, Canada,
the last day would always start raffling off really rare ones.
Yeah, that was, I wish I knew those guys' name. If you've been to Botcons before and you know who I'm talking about.
It's always exciting.
They actually, they spoke enough English and you could, to make deals with them and stuff like that. But for the most part, they spoke Japanese and they had some really cool stuff every time.
Yeah, but they wouldn't pull out the good stuff till the last day.
I think the people who have, at this convention I went to, it's been 10 years since I've been to a Botcon, by the way. Last time I went to one was 2016.
Yeah.
And the people I think at this convention, who effectively took over that role was a dealer known as Artfire 2000. And they had all kinds of cool stuff from Japan and in fairly large quantities. You'll see when we start showing you some footage here. We've always gone as just a couple for a few years until we started having children.
Then
we went as a family. I did take by myself my oldest child, my daughter Marla, one time in 2012. We went to Dallas and did that.
I stayed home. I had a work event, so I couldn't go. Our youngest
child was, I figured it was it's just too much for me to take one. Because it's pretty chaotic. When you see the footage, you can see.
Yeah.
So I just took my oldest daughter at that time, who was old enough to maybe not be somebody I have to completely worry about,
Right.
She would stay with me and and then, but I never got a chance to take my youngest.
Yeah.
And so even though my youngest is now 20, Raph, I said we're gonna take you to a Botcon. So we went to a Botcon.
You guys had a good time.
Again, as of this filming, it happened to be yesterday, and we had an absolute blast. Staying in the hotel for a night, getting up and looking for places to eat. And
what was your favorite thing you saw at this Botcon?
My favorite, for me, it's always the dealer room. Going toe to toe with people, weaving through the crowd looking for a deal, trying to see what you can find. What exactly are you going to find? You never know. You think it's going to be one thing or another, but then you go there and something tends to be sold more than others.
Yeah.
My big thing that I saw this year was it was pretty much stuff that had been sold commercially, but maybe you didn't find it. Within the last less than 10 years, probably more like 5 years or so. So stuff from Hasbro that was like, the War for Cybertron line. So Siege, Kingdom, that kind of stuff. So a lot of fairly recent toys being sold. But, if you dug around, you can get stuff that was from the 80s and 70s, like pre-Transformers sometimes, So it's just a lot of fun. We did go sit in on one panel here. A couple of voice actors talk about their craft.
Who were they?
I don't remember the names now off the top of my head.
Show do you
They were
remember?
from Transformers Robots in Disguise from 2000.
Yeah, was it cool
which
to
is
hear?
like I'm Grimlock guy. It was that show.
Okay,
But it wasn't that guy.
Yeah.
It was the guy who happened to do the voice for both Megatron in that show and Omega Prime.
Who did Raph get an autograph?
Neil Ross. My son got an autograph from Neil Ross, who was the voice of Springer and a bunch of other things in the original G1 cartoon. Voice actors are fun. I like voice actors. They're interesting to meet, especially if you talk to them just like as they're walking around and about. But to go and talk with them and maybe get an autograph, that's not really my thing. I'm not into that, but Raph likes it, so Raph did that. That was cool.
Raph's pretty excited.
I remember one time we rode in an elevator with Susan Blue, the voice of RC, and she had her dogs with her and stuff. You don't remember this, do you?
I don't remember that, but it's very clear to you. That's probably the last one I went to. Now...
This is pretty good beer, by the way.
Oh, I haven't tasted it yet. All right, this is a Hazy Hero.
Hazy Hero. We'll be drinking this and sipping on it when we come back.
It goes very well with Transformers.
That's kind of why I picked it up.
Ooh, this is juicy.
And again, the convention was, they call it Botcon, Chicago. It was really Schaumburg, Illinois.
Delicious.
One of the suburbs.
Yeah.
It's not really a robot hand, but it kind of it could be a robot.
How many people do you think were there the day you were there?
Well, we were Saturday for first thing. Raph and I got there so early, we even had to wait before we were allowed to go in. We had to wait to pick up our name badges that we had prepaid for. We were allowed to go in at 10 o'clock. The people who were prepaid had a half an hour before they let the general public in. But we were there by 8:30. We had time to kill, so we walked around to see where all the other stuff was. There was a room that people had submitted art projects, like they had recolored a figure, or they'd done 2D or 3D art or of different things. So we kind of peeked in there and saw that a little bit. We talked to some people in line while we were waiting. So we chatted people up.
How many people do you think?
But how many people were there all together? That was a huge room, and it was by the time we left like 1, 2, 1:30, something like that. There was 10,000. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of people. But they're always a lot of fun, So it is exactly, if you've never been to a nerd convention before, they're exactly what you think.
Did you get any fights this year?
No fights.
Did you smell anybody who it seemed like they didn't understand the concept of showering?
Not so much.
Or soap.
But there are a lot of people dressed up. You'll see some of that in the footage I'm about to show you. So people wear costumes and walk around. They had a costume contest at one point. We didn't stick around.
Did anybody have other toys besides Transformers? Like we've seen G.I. Joe and things like that.
There was some G.I. Joe stuff for sale.
Sometimes they
some like pre-Transformer stuff.
We know we saw Tron toys one year because that led to one of our all-time great quotes that we say all of the time.
Yeah, some guy said I bought Tron because Tron kicks ass.
Yes, and we still say that to this day. That was our first Botcon. We overheard this guy saying it. So we're like, that's hilarious.
So what we're gonna do to get this video going, we're gonna cut here and go away to some footage that I filmed yesterday while we're at the convention. So it's gonna, and not in any particular order, it was just gonna be kind of show the highlights of different things. So if you've never been to a convention, you'll kind of see what that's like. If you'd like to see more of the convention, you can go to social media, especially on Facebook. They have Botcon Official, I think is the at Botcon Official, or just search for Botcon. And they've got a Facebook page. You can see lots of other footage that people did for the weekend, so you can get even more of a flavor of what this convention's like. I went in with about like a couple $100 to spend, and I did spend it all. And we'll talk more about that when we come back. Because after you get done seeing the footage, I'm going to show you what I did buy, and we'll kind of showcase it real quick. We probably won't do the usual where we spend a lot of time transforming it. I mean, I'll give you a couple, and we'll kind of talk about it.
Whatever he tells me. But I'm ready to break his new toys.
But just like we did the Beer Fest a few months ago, this will be one of those videos where you're going to see a lot more footage that's not here. But it's of the footage I took the day when we were there. So without any further ado, here's some footage of Botcon 2026. So enjoy. It's almost time to go into Botcon 2026. Behind us is the dealer room, which is where we're going to be spending most of our time. Raps, anything you're looking for in particular?
Hang on. Not really. I'm not sure yet. Anything particular? I just hope I can find something good. I want to get I want to get the Matrix pen now.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm just looking for whatever I can find too. So we'll be filming more as we get inside. All right, here is the dealer room. All of us who paid early get to come in half an hour before everyone else. Excuse me. So lots of stuff for sale. We're walking around here trying to look for some deals. So we got several of the Transformers pinball games set up. That's pretty cool. So here's the voice actors and artists and things like that. This is also an artist alley, so people are drawing stuff, selling their wares. That's pretty cool. People are walking around in costume. Yeah, that's her real head. I can't tell. And so people are also making things and selling them. That's pretty cool. Toys that almost were. That's pretty cool. Very cool stuff. People are seeing what they got, taking a break. Again, room. It's crazy. Everybody's buying everything. And there's a snack bar too if you want to get a snack.
Hi, Sarah.
In RID, Megatron spends most of the show keeping Dr. Onishi like a hamster. In your opinion, did he know how to take care of a hamster when he took Dr. Onishi?
No, and my question was always, is he feeding this guy?
This is the Robots in Disguise panel.
Dr. Onishi is not going to make it, you know? Like, we need that.
It's the art room.
That starts from
And they got places where people can color too. That's pretty cool. It's an art room. Sheets you can color. You gonna do any coloring, Raph?
Should have chunked those in. Color in the lines.
Oh, so you cut this out and make like a diorama with it. Okay. Yeah. People are starting to chill out, relax. People are wearing costumes still. We're just chilling out and having a meal from Marketplace. Botcon 2026 again. Very cool. All right, so wait. So here we go. We've been through the dealer room. We've had lunch. We've shopped out. We've watched people play Energon toss or bean bags. We've got movie props. We've seen people in costumes. All in all, good day at Botcon?
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right, so from Botcon 2026, BeerFormers signing off. All right, we're back. Hope you enjoyed some of that slice of life, if you will, of what a Transformers convention is like. There are a lot of people who go to do like it all. I am very much, I want to go see what I can buy. You know, so I will go to a panel, as you saw. We had a little short footage of last at a panel.
Yeah.
I will go look at the art to see what it is. If I, like I said, if I run into a voice actor in the hall or we're walking around, I might say, "Hi, how you doing?" But for the most part, I want to go to see what kind of toys I can get.
Yep.
So with that being said,
You always have an agenda.
as we got our Hazy Hero here from Revolution Brewing,
That is very good.
here's some of the stuff I got at Botcon this year.
Oh, bring
Now,
on.
you were asking about do they have non-Transformer stuff. I did. I bought a couple of GoBots this year.
Ooh, you
All right,
love GoBots.
You can have that one. I've been getting more into GoBots lately. I didn't really collect them for the longest time, but there's been this.
Because when we were kids, we thought they were lame.
Well, but they came out first, as you know.
They did.
But they were lame.
It was just a victim of marketing.
But there's several people that had some GoBots and other things like that for sale too. And I forgot
all this one
I forgot
does?
my list, and so I didn't really know exactly which GoBots I got, so I had to go off memory.
This is why you got to put it on Google
I know,
Sheets,
I need
Dave,
to, so I
and
always
then
do
it's
it.
always on your phone.
But I'm in my 50s, so I still carry around pieces of paper because why not? But so I got two
Gen
GoBots.
X.
This first one that Noel already transformed is one that came in at Wendy's. They weren't Happy Meals, but whatever Wendy's kids meals were.
Yeah,
This is a Skyfly.
Oh,
So
my
very
goodness.
super simple here. You just
Yeah.
you just fold the arms down, fold them
Wow.
up. He's a jet.
That was a toy and a kids meal.
That was in a
That's
kids
pretty
meal toy.
good. I thought that was coming up.
This one is Pincher. This is one of the
Bubble
GoBot
card.
Renegade like monsters. So he real
Yeah.
quick, you just fold his legs down, fold the little spikes things back up there, pull this up, fold it down.
Is he bad or good?
He's a renegade, which means he's bad. They had renegade monsters, which
does
means
look
their
bad.
robot slash vehicle forms were kind of monstrous.
Very bad.
So a couple GoBots that I didn't have for my collection there, so that's always kind of fun. I could have bought more. There were a lot of GoBots at several tables, but I was just like, I'm pretty sure I don't know exactly if I have this one or not type of thing.
Tell me you're going to put your list on
I will,
Google
I
Sheets
will,
after
I will.
this.
And I'm pretty good with that usually. I have a pretty
Yeah.
good memory for it, but there's just so many in there. It's like, I'm not 100%.
We're getting in that age range, though,
spend.
Dave. We can't trust our memory anymore.
I got some arms microns. Okay, so quick history of these without getting to it.
Jellies.
Arms, when Transformers Prime, the cartoon, made its way to Japan, and the toys that went along with
Yes,
it,
yes.
the Japanese changed it slightly. Instead of just having the robots packed with regular weapons like we got here in America, they thought it wouldn't be fun if we made the weapons all transformable too.
Yeah,
So,
that would
so
be
the Japanese got these transformable weapons.
Okay.
And so they all have got interesting names because they usually tend to
Are they double entendres?
they tend to homage the person who they're kind of supposed to go with, to a certain extent, unless they're the bad guys, right? And all three of these that I got here, as you'll see on the above camera too, these are kind of like see-through plastic. These are special edition ones that you can only get like by going to a certain store or getting them in a candy machine.
They weigh nothing.
Yeah, they're essentially little model kits. You put them together. You have to
Oh.
break them off the screw. and
Oh,
put
I
them
saw
together.
you doing this
Last
night.
So the three I
Yeah.
got here, this one is called OP because he
OPP,
transforms into
yeah, you
Optimus
know me.
Prime's
Okay.
gun. Okay? This one here is BB because he turns into Bumblebee's gun. Okay? And this last one here is a Decepticon one.
Is PP.
No, the Decepticon ones, they have more like regular Japanese sounding names. They didn't get clever with naming them after something that goes with the guy they go with. But this one is called, I got it right now.
Crusher.
This one is Gura. Because Gura is some sort of pun that has to do with him becoming a crab. So it's like I'm not sure what
Is Gura
I'm not sure what the Japanese
word
for
for
crab is, but Gura is some
Well, you
part
can
of
see
it.
little crab
Yeah.
pictures down there.
So let's go, and all the Decepticon ones have like a single eye. This
Yeah.
one here is supposed to be an eye. So
So-
I flip that forward.
Yeah,
I
you
flip
become
that
a crab.
forward.
So
I
the
flip out
weapon's
the
a
little
crab.
legs.
Oh
and
my
it's a crab
goodness.
now. All right, this is the
Ugh.
weapon that came with Knockout back in the day. Where I do Bumblebee here, this one's also pretty simple. We'll just do this for the above camera here. You just flip his arms down, flip his legs down. His arms have a
And you had
bend
to
in
put
them.
that all together.
Yeah.
Like a puzzle.
Yeah. So the original, now these, like I said, these are special color versions like that, you
Yeah.
know. These would have been available in things that they sometimes, I'm probably going to pronounce
Cereal?
this wrong, but gashapon.
Oh.
Well, if you go to a grocery store here in America, you get the little things outside, typically where you put a quarter in and
Yes.
turn the knob, okay?
Yes.
They have those in Japan too, but sometimes they have upscale kind of things in them.
Oh,
you know?
you got these in like a bubble?
So you could have got those in a bubble
Okay.
in Japan. I bought these just from a dealer in
Oh,
a
okay.
bag, right?
Okay.
So that's BB, and this is Gura. And then lastly we have OP for Optimus Prime here. So you down with OPP?
Yeah, you know me.
He transformed by flipping his arms down, flipping the back thing here down as well, and flipping his arms down. And there's OP.
That's pretty cool.
You know? So the alternative some semblance of the weapon that we would have gotten in America. So like from Knockout, he had some sort of like pronged spear thing that he held. So in Japan, they turned it into a transformer. Bumblebee had a double-barreled gun. Optimus Prime had a long rifle.
Yeah.
So I've got quite a few of these, and my goal is mostly just to get one of each one that goes with the guy.
Yeah.
So even though there might have been like 3 or 4 different color versions of this OP.
Oh my gosh, there's more than
the
one
fact that I have an OP
version?
is good enough for me. You know, same with Bumblebee and stuff like that.
Where do you display them?
They're over there with my other Micromaster type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so those 3. So Gura, BB, and OP with some arms microns.
All right.
I have quite a few of those now, but not quite all of them.
So you got those guys. What else?
Talking
we got
about
here?
Gashapon stuff, right? The Artfire 2000 place, they had an actual Gashapon machine set up. And for $5, he would give you 4 Japanese coins. I think they were 100.
That's fun.
They were 100 yen each or something like that, right? 'Cause that's what it took to activate the machine. And he had it preloaded with various things inside there.
Yeah.
And the balls for these are like Pokeballs. They're like that big.
Wow.
All right. And so you put your 4 coins. He would give you after you give him the $5. Turned out you get a ball, and you could have got things like all kinds of various
Was
things.
the ball clear? Like could
Yeah, it
you
was,
see?
it
Okay.
was clear, but you couldn't tell what was coming out,
Yeah.
just like in a grocery store, because what's going to come out is below your field of view. But he had some like mini bots in there.
Yeah.
He had some Micromasters in there. He had some gift cards and stuff in there. that you could
That's
spin in
fun.
Here. And so Raph and I did it 3 times.
Yeah.
And what I got one time was one of the things. This is a decoy. So we talked several episodes back how in the early days they had different like pack-in things, right? We talked about the mini spies.
Yes.
So you bought a mini bot, you got a mini spy. Look for that video. I'll put a link.
Can I hold it?
And so one year
It's rubber.
one year they did a promotion called the decoys, and they are essentially erasers, so they're not meant to be bent or anything.
Like we used to get at McDonald's
Right.
or Happy Meals in the
But they were all
70s.
done in the likeness of one of the Transformers that existed, right?
They're
and
very
the
articulated.
Autobot ones tend to be red. The Decepticon ones tend to be purple, and this one was Hound. Raph got one that was a Sunstreaker.
Okay.
All right. So this is the one and only decoy I own. I've never really collected those.
That's pretty
So this is my
neat.
first one. Yeah.
We're gonna put.
And they were all just little bitty erasers, like deals like this, and they had.
Yeah.
I want to forget what year they came out. I think they came out prior to the mini spies or right after, one or the other. So they didn't cover the entire gamut of Transformers figures because there was a limited amount at that time. But a lot of the G1, like original first couple years with the toys, got like that. So I'll find somewhere important. But I'll probably put it next to my McDonald's Happy Meal Bumblebee that I got a couple of years ago. McDonald's had a special promotion early on, only in St. Louis. They had little plastic figures in the Happy Meal. They weren't transformable, but they're extremely rare because
St.
of the
Louis.
So I got in the Gashapon machine. I got the Hound.
All right.
Decoy.
What
Also
else?
in the Gashapon machine, I got a Japanese exclusive Micromaster.
You were probably freaking out
This
about
one
this.
is his name is. I'm gonna have to look here because I wrote it down. His name is Dead Hour. DeadHour. Right.
Oh.
He's supposed to be white, but this one got set in the sun too long. He's sun faded. So that's one reason why I would give it away for like $5,
looks like
right?
butter.
Yeah, but I'll just transform real quick. You just fold his legs out. He's
when
very
you
tight.
saw that came out, did you just about jump out of your skin?
I mean, there were several of these. Like this was originally sold in the United States as a yellow car with blue highlights as the Decepticon.
Okay.
When these Micromasters came out in Japan, they claimed that bad guys just didn't sell very well. So all the Micromaster toys, with a couple of exceptions, were recolored into Autobots, and this is one of them. So
Interesting.
So you can see in the upper camera some of the white
Japanese
poking through. The part that
bad
wasn't
guys.
exposed to the sun. This probably sat in a window somewhere for years,
Probably.
and the sun usually is what does this yellowing to it.
Yes.
So I got a Japanese exclusive Micromaster in my
That's
Gashapon.
very cool.
I bought these couple guys. These are a couple of Headmasters here. You can hold one if you want.
Yes.
These were a third-party toy that came out several years ago for some other convention. They're supposed to be replacement heads for Fortress Maximus.
Go ahead.
So I'll show this one. This one here is supposed to represent Fortress Maximus's head as it looked like in the original Japanese cartoon.
Okay. What's
This
one
head
supposed to be?
represents what he looked like in the Marvel comic books, but just in different colors. Because this was intended to be replacement heads for Brave Maximus, which is the first Fortress Maximus toy you bought for me when we still lived at our very first house way back then.
You're welcome.
So these are just like bootleg versions of it. They don't actually transform the exact same way as the original toys. When I transform here, you can see they've got a spinning neck. So if you put these into a guy, the head can turn, which the original Headmasters couldn't do.
Noise.
Okay, and they transfer basically the same way, but they're a little more articulated. Being a third party, they kind of gave them a little more whatever to do there, but they're basically the same. So if I transform this one here, you're going to see they look virtually identical in robot mode. All right. But like we've talked about Headmasters a little bit. When you plug into this part here into the body of the transformer, these little legs, not legs, but these little prongs here, we're going to call them, push down plungers. So when you flip open the hood, you can see on the chest, you can see like their strength, their firepower, and their speed or something like that. So these will actually work with that still. So if you put these into an actual transformer, it'll still activate that toy feature.
That's cool.
So I got these
Great.
because they were kind of cheap. I only paid like $15-$20 something like that for them for the both of them. I'll find some use for them. I might do a kit bash project where I buy just a body and paint it up somehow so these guys
that
can do it.
tracks.
So
I'm sure something will spring to your
I like
imagination.
to do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And they came with a sword too. So
That's a pretty cool sword.
kind of a little
Wow, that's sharp. You can put your eye out with that.
Fortress Maximus had a little size head like this that turned into a head for the head that became the head for Fortress Maximus, like a double. So this is like the size sword that would go with that smaller robot. That's what that was. And lastly, I got a couple more Japanese toys. These are a couple of Japanese Transformers Prime, although in Japan they call it Transformers Go.
Okay.
Okay. There's a slightly they kind of slightly retooled these a little bit. This toy came out in America in more of a like a tealish green color and red. So in Japan there's dark blue like that.
Yeah.
This one's name is Bakudora, so it's a Japanese name.
Okay.
It roughly translates into explosive dragon. Okay.
I like it. His mouth opens.
His mouth does open. Yep.
An explosive dragon.
So what made these guys different for the Japanese release is like they basically copied the same toy in America, but they changed the robot head on it. And I'll show you when I transform it here in a second.
Okay.
The robot head is different than the.
Why did they do that?
They were trying. The show Transformers Go was very much kind of like a send off, kind of celebration of Japanese culture a little bit. So in the story of Transformers Go, these two boys, they both find this magical / technological, because it's from Cybertron, disc called a Legend disc, which took them back in time. And they were trying to find the other ones and bring them back to our time to stop the leader of these dragon guys called Dracotron from ruling the world, right? So every time they traveled back in time, they met some other character from Japanese history.
Oh, that's neat.
So these guys were strictly had Japanese sounding names, and to make them threatening, the face change on them, they were made to look like what the Japanese call Oni, which is like basically like a demon. Ooh. So they have Japanese demon faces.
I like that.
I'll transform this real quick because it is not that hard.
All right.
So we just basically turn.
I like his tail. I could grab stuff.
Yeah, I could. This one had a little bit of a broken part of the tail, so I had to kind of glue it a little bit already. But
you did.
It's pretty good. Otherwise, we'll take this out here, fold these back, fold that body part forward, pull these two shoulder pads out. All right. And he can hold this claw thing comes off. It becomes a handheld weapon.
Okay.
Okay, which if you fill this out, then you poke that middle part. That
scared of the claw.
It comes in. You're scared of the claw.
Right in the claw.
And then lastly, you basically fold these parts back to expose the actual hands.
Nice.
Right? So I have the American version of this, but I didn't have the Japanese version of this, so I got this for a pretty good price. And I'll show you the face here up there.
Yeah.
So the face on the toy is very different for the American version. It's supposed to emulate or evoke, like Japanese art of Oni. Of what the Onis might have looked like. Sort of demonic faces there. So like a little bit of kabuki kind of influences and things like that, right? So this is Bakudora.
He's very cool.
And the other one I got was I might pronounce it probably wrong. Jayodora. Okay. So this one in America, and all these came out in America, like I said, different colors, right?
Oh yeah, very light.
Yeah, very light.
Ooh, this is one I could definitely break.
The original version of this in America was like snow, like the wings and stuff were like white, and his body was kind of like a light blue.
Oh,
right. And this guy, and another guy got another release. They had several releases, but they basically just took the same toy and put different colors out. They've done that a lot.
Yeah.
But this Japanese version here, one has got the purple and the lime green. So transform him, you just basically push the hips together.
It's all in the hips.
All in the hips. You kind of raise the tail up out of the way. For the arms here, you kind of fold this way, fold it around.
Oh, yep, there's his hand.
There's like a part that tabs in there, so it kind of locks in place.
Wow.
Do the same thing over here. Are you amazed I remember all this all the time?
Yes, honest to God, I'm amazed that you remember this.
Oops, it popped off. I put it back on
Yeah.
because that's one of the things.
Because every one of these is a puzzle, and you've basically got 3,000 puzzles in your head, puzzle solutions in your head. It's crazy.
And finally, for this one, you basically push the jaws down. That reveals the Japanese Oni face.
Ooh.
Okay, and it has the ability to like shoot these out. I think you just basically kind of fling them forward.
Yeah.
And they kind of fly out, but maybe that part doesn't work so well. I don't know.
Because it's America.
Because this is the Japanese version.
Oh, okay.
So
well, then I don't know.
So you're just blaming the Japanese for everything, right? But
No, they're cool.
But these are part of. These were sold in America as part of the Transformers Prime last season, where they had the Beast Hunters, where they were hunting down and fighting against these ancient Cybertronians called Predacons, which we've had Predacons before. We talked about that. But for Transformers Prime, Predacons are envisioned to be more prehistoric dragon-y type looking creatures like this. So there are still at least 2 more of these from Japan that I would need to track down to complete that particular version of the set. I've got all the basic dragons that came out in America back in the day. Except for the 2 that were like Target exclusives, which I kind of hinted at there. But yeah, so that's everything I bought at Botcon 2026. It was a lot of fun.
I will say this is a smaller haul than in past years. I think because you have more.
I have more. I'm a little more selective now.
You have fewer holes to fill.
A little fewer holes to fill. And then because Botcon kind of snuck up in a little bit this year, so I didn't have time to like really set aside a bunch of extra money to be able to buy this year. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks to my son Raph for going with me. We had a blast together
I'm really
for their
glad you had a
first
good
solo
time.
Botcon with me. Raph's been to plenty of other Botcons, but this is the first time it was just the 2 of us. So we really, really had a blast. Any thoughts about our beer before we get ready to
It's very
finish off?
tasty. I mean, this Hazy Hero is a great hazy. It's very pineapple-y and sweet, not really super bitter, which is what I'm loving about IPAs. I'm getting tired of IPAs that just are bitter for bitter's sake. Well balanced, but definitely hazy.
So thanks again, Revolution Brewing, for making another good beer. Thanks for Chicago for having places like this to mix up and for having Transformers conventions. So, as we wind down, if you'd like to know more about any of these toys, go to tfwiki.net. All these things, except for the GoBots. GoBots have their own wiki, I think, and I'm not sure if that's the GoBot wiki. I have no idea because I don't go to GoBot wiki.
Google it. Google that stuff.
I go to Transformers Land to look at which GoBots do I need for picture-wise, I guess. So Transformers Land has a page that's about GoBots. You can look that up. So yeah, go to tfwiki.net to learn more about these toys and any other Transformers toys you might want to look at. If there's ever any toy that we haven't done yet you'd like us to put into the rotation, drop us a line in the comments. We'll be happy to get on that as soon as possible.
Yes, and same thing with the beer or spirit that you'd like us to try. Drop it down below. Let us know what we should go see, and we will give it a whirl.
And this is YouTube, so make sure you hit all those buttons. Like, subscribe, share, comment, so we can get our algorithm going up. We finally breached 460 subscribers.
Yes, thank you, every single one of you.
I did leave some of our cards at BotCon, so maybe people will see those, and we'll get some more subscribers to that. That'd be awesome fun. And when you guys watch this one, in 2 weeks, we'll be back to normal because there's no Transformers conventions going on. So we'll go back to reviewing the different original G1 Dinobots.
Yeah.
So keep looking, staying tuned.
And another local brewery that I'm really excited about.
Yeah. So, as we say here every time we wind down an episode of BeerFormers, please play responsibly and drink responsibly. And thanks once again for stopping by and seeing us here at BeerFormers.
More than meets the eye.
Cheers! Happy BotCon!
Happy BotCon. Glad you're home safe.